Yet another case of incitement, this time from the VHP. There is a case coming to light from Gurugram. Speaking at the Trishul Diksha event, in Manesar, VHP Joint Secretary Surendra Jain spewed venom. He glorified those who had attacked a group of praying Muslims in one of the villages in Gurugram last week and called them Bajrangis and threatened them to leave.
उल्लंघन करके मुसलमानों ने वहां मस्जिद बनाने की कोशिश की। कोई आपके घर में घुसकर मस्जिद बनाएगा, स्वीकार करोगे? इरादे बड़े साफ हैं। आज भौतला, कल गुड़गांव, फिर मानेसर, फिर पूरा हरियाणा और धीरे धीरे पूरे भारत को ये दाऊद इस्लाम में परिवर्तित करना चाहते हैं। घर में घुसकर मारेंगे, वहां पुलिस पीट कर आती है और हमारे बजरंगी वहां जाकर कील लगाते हैं। हमारा हर जयकारा हमारा संकल्प है कि यदि तुम भारत की ओर आंख उठाकर देखोगे, यदि तुम भारत का एक और बंटवारा करोगे तो ध्यान कर लेना, भारत में तुम हिजाब के नाम पर दंगे कराओगे, नागरिक संशोधन के नाम पर शाहीन बाग लगाओगे, तो ध्यान कर लेना तुम्हारा मुकाबला बजरंग दल से होगा। वैसे ही समझ लो,
not just this, Surendra Jain then goes on to hail the attack on Gurugram Namazis and incites against the community.
जिस दिन हिंदू संकल्प के साथ खड़ा हो जाएगा कि देश में किसी विधर्मी को अखाड़ा नहीं चलाने देंगे, हिजाब के बहाने से या खुले में नमाज के बहाने से पूरे देश में फसाद नहीं करने देंगे, उसी दिन ये सारा का सारा विषय समाप्त हो जाएगा। हम मुसलमानों को समाप्त नहीं करना चाहते, लेकिन भारत में रहकर वो पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद के नारे लगाएं, भारत में रहकर वो हिंदुओं के साथ झगड़े खड़ा करें, लैंड जिहाद करें, लव जिहाद करें, ये किसी भी हालत में स्वीकार नहीं होगा। आज देश भर में 10 लाख से ज्यादा कार्यकर्ता त्रिशूल धारण करके हिंदू धर्म की रक्षा का संकल्प ले चुके हैं। मुझे लगता है अब इनकी चुनौती का जवाब मिलेगा, ये उनको समझ में आ रहा है।
Joining me live on the story with the details is my colleague Priyank. Priyank, you were also there when that incident of face-off over prayers at a house happened. In the light of that, what allegations are being leveled by this group today? Do you see any validity in that, or is it just hate-mongering?
See, certainly these people are trying to, once again create an atmosphere of fear amongst various community, because what we could see that after the, issues which escalated from this village in Gurgaon, which is on the extreme area of Manesar, the issue was resolved in between both the community. But once again, trying to carry out their drive for one particular community is something which will certainly vitiate the atmosphere, and the state government should have also taken a note of it, and this kind of movement or any kind of religious function very close to this kind of vicinity should have been avoided. Although on the other side, this program was also broadcasted on social media, where a clear, open messaging was also given to the Muslim community, which was certainly serious, for which there have been series of voices which is coming out opposing this kind of move by the Bajrang Dal. But so far the situation remains to be calm. Both the sides have spoken to each other, although there was a litigation which was moved by the prime owner of the property, which was under all the eye of the storm last week, have also moved to the court seeking his right over the piece of land which has now been converted
into a mosque. And which is the right way to approach such disputes, especially when it comes to property, not make it communal, approach the court and get it settled, whichever side might be trying to do so. Moving on, stay on with me, Priyank. I'll come back to you, but Congress has also reacted to these speeches, blaming the BJP, accusing them of polarization.
पहली बात है जे वो भी बीजेपी का हाथ में हिंदू मुसलमान को छोड़ के दूसरा कोई मुद्दा नहीं है। वो भी कोई महंगाई के बारे में तो बीजेपी नहीं बोल सकते, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट के बारे में बीजेपी का बोलने का कोई दम नहीं है, तो वो लोग क्या लेके जनता का सामने नहीं। ये 24 का पहले ये हिंदू मुसलमान का नाम में दूसरा गुजरात इंडिया को बनाना चाहते हैं।
Now, this is not an isolated incident, unfortunately. Just 3 months ago, the same group of people in Manesar had called for a gathering where they had called for an economic boycott of the Muslim community and the shopkeepers, and now this has happened. My colleague Meghna now joins us for more perspective on what really might be emboldening such hate mongers.
Well, unfortunately, there have been repeated instances which have been coming in of open incitement, of derogatory terms being used to attack one specific community. Now, unfortunately, hate, remember, is a double-edged sword. But what kind of action that is taken on hate mongers and hotheads is what really could have defined the way that India is headed as a nation. So what really has happened? Let's get you some of the recent events which has happened. For example, Parvesh Verma, he is of course a BJP MP, a parliamentarian. He had said, teach them a lesson, boycott them. He then goes on to say, boycott their shops and don't even employ them. What is the action taken against him? Absolutely none. And that is where the problem perhaps rises, because the opposition says that there is an open and a free run which has been given to the hotheads. Then there are others, such as Nand Kishore Gurjar, a BJP MLA. He had said that we will kill jihadis, we will kill them, and we will anyways do them in the future as well. What action has been taken? People like Parvesh Verma, people such as Gurjar, they have not even been named in the FIR. The only FIR which has been registered has been against the organizers and not the people who made these speeches. The third person who was part of that very event is none other than Acharya Yogeshwar. He too stood there and he had made this statement that they want to marry 14 times and have children. We should spot them and kill them. These insightful speeches were made from the dais, an open call to incitement, and despite that, none of them have even been named in the FIR.
Okay.
And that's where perhaps the problem and the free run really comes from.
Right. Priyank, coming back to you, has any complaint been filed when it comes to the VHP speeches?
No complaints so far, Priya, because this was an event which happened yesterday, and whatever the VHP has been stating has been said by them in a symbolic manner. They have not particularly used name of any religion, although the statement which has come out from the VHP was relation to a program which was organized for distributing these Shiva, Trishul to various members. There were around 200 members of the VHP who were present in the meeting which happened yesterday. It was a Dikshant kind of Samaro which was organized by them. But later to that, the kind of messaging in a symbolic manner and an indicative manner which was given, and using the term like jihadi for all the members of the community is certainly something which has been opposed time and again. In this kind of scenario where there was an attempt to vandalize a mosque which is also being contested by both the sides. Some say that it wasn't a mosque, some say that it was a mosque. Presence of these kind of program very close to the location where the situation has already been completely tense should have been ideally avoided.
So there are some very legitimate questions that the administration also must answer. Priyank, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, because we have some breaking developments coming in. There is some sort of an outrage that has played out on the streets in Jammu and Kashmir after the targeted killing of Kashmir Hindu Puran Bhatt. Kashmiri Hindu protesters are painting a signboard of Hurriyat office in Srinagar. Now they have removed it as a sign of displaying their anger.
Protest against target killings. The activists here in Srinagar, in fact right now in Rajbagh area of Srinagar city, protested here outside the Hurriyat office to protest. They did try to remove this main billboard wherein it was mentioned all parties Hurriyat conference. They used paint to remove that Hurriyat word from this board. They in fact wrote this India word on this main board and main gate that the Hurriyat conference office here in Srinagar had. In fact, this is the kind of anger that in fact people are expressing against the target killings, particularly after this Bhatt, who was a Kashmiri Pandit, was targeted in South Kashmir, Shopian district. In fact, was targeted there in Chaudhrigund village of Shopian district.
The BJP in Jammu and Kashmir is also echoing similar sentiment against those who have been seen as siding with the terrorists and terror apologists. BJP says Modi government is determined to deal with terrorism in the valley.
शायद डॉक्टर फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब वो मंजर जब घरों से निकलना कश्मीर में मुश्किल होता था उसको भूल गए हैं और आतंकवादियों पर कड़ा प्रहार भी मोदी सरकार ने किया है। आज ढूंढ ढूंढ कर सेना और पुलिस इन आतंकवादियों का सफाया कर रही है। जिस तरीके से उनका सफाया हो रहा है वो सीधा जंग भारतीय सेना और हमारी पुलिस से आतंकवादी लड़ नहीं सकते, इसलिए सॉफ्ट टारगेट्स को ढूंढकर निशाना बनाते हैं। ये दौर भी खत्म हो जाएगा।
My colleague Suhail joins me for more details. Suhail, what really were these people expecting? What is the anger about when they go about destroying the banners outside Hurriyat offices?
Well, in fact, this group of youth activists here in Srinagar, they gathered outside the Hurriyat office in Rajbagh area of Srinagar city. First, they held a protest under the banner of Aakhir Kab Tak. That's a campaign, in fact, initiated by the Muslims and Hindus here in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Kashmir Valley. After the Kashmiri Pandit Rahul Bhatt was killed, then Kashmir saw a number of such incidents, and that campaign is on wherein Hindus and Muslims together are protesting against this. Here, in this case, these youth activists assembled outside the Hurriyat office. First, they tried to deface the signboard of all parties Hurriyat conference that is, in fact, that was led by Mirwais Umar Farooq. Then ultimately this board was removed as a mark of protest. To protest the target killings, these youth activists say that this office, in fact, is itself a reason of violence, and it has brought violence and destruction in Kashmir Valley, and they are not going to tolerate any such target killings in future. There will be massive protests. We have seen yesterday in evening itself, protests being held all across Kashmir Valley at district headquarters by people. In fact, this is for the first time that the people from majority community also came out to protest against target killings, against the Puran Krishna Bhatt, who was targeted there in South Kashmir, Shopian district. So the anger is visible on the streets of Kashmir Valley. In fact, these young people coming out and removing the signboard of this Hurriyat office is also an itself an
People
example,
finally have realized who are the real culprits to blame
indicate
for the ordeal that they have to go through. Thank you, Suhail, for joining me. We take a very quick break.